You need to have the bullier traits. You cannot get to the standard on the front piece with the bullier traits when you have massive base blood behind it. And when you get of a lot of, especially in the XLs, you get a lot of that hybrid juice, which is the Mastiffs or the African Barbells bred to the Bulldog. And you get inconsistency within the class because what ends up happening, you try to line breed on that dog, or you try to inbreed on that dog, all you're gonna do is pull the Mastiff traits. That's why the class is so inconsistent. Now, with that being said, why is that important? Because you have to understand, you're never gonna reach the standard utilizing Mastiff blood. You have to get back to using the Bulldog blood to pull the Bulldog traits. What is going on, YouTube family? It is your boy Al with the Heavy Hitter Bully Crew, and I am back for another lit video for you guys. And hold on, before we even get into it, if this is your first time here, smash that sub button right now. Become a part of our family and join us on this journey together. If you love dogs, if you love cinematic content, if you love educational dog content, dog training content, this is the channel for you. So with that being said, in today's video, we're gonna be picking up from last week's video where I discussed the front piece. Well, in today's video, we're gonna be giving you installment 3 of what is wrong with the XL American Bully by talking about the width of the rib cage, the top line, and the length of the back. This is gonna be one of the shorter videos, so stay tight and let's get into it. So we're talking about the back, the top line, the width of the rib cage. We have to refer back to last week's video where I discussed proportion in regards to the front piece. I said that your dog has to be as wide as it is tall, and that goes for the totality of the dog, which means that your dog's back length has to be in alignment with the front piece, right? For it to give you that natural bully look, which means that your dog has to have that box look, proportional look, for it to really hold the traits that the American Bully is supposed to have. So with that being said, I'm not going to be discussing the breeds. Why is that? It's because 3 out of the 4 breeds that I discussed that played an intricate role in the development of the XL, they all have the same common thing, which is the long back. The Amstaff, which is the dog that was used predominantly in the older generations, they have more of that compact back, but they don't have that substance that you're looking for. So with that being said, let's get into that portion of the video. So we're talking about the back length of the breeds that I discussed in parts 1 and 2. Most importantly, you have to understand that these dogs aren't within proportion of what the American Bully is supposed to be. So if this is your first time here, refer back to part 2 where I discussed proportion in detail. So with that being said, when we're talking about the massive related blood in regards to the bigger dogs, what ends up happening is you get a longer dog, a lankier dog. But when you have a dog that is longer, you're gonna have a dog that is naturally heavier. And people get this misconstrued. You can have a dog that has the Mastiff related body, correct? That is weighing 120. And I'm gonna be showing you Champion Titanium Tang, who was 118 at his peak and 20.5 inches at the withers. These 2 dogs are not even close. Now, when we're talking about the bullier traits, you have to understand the foundation of that, right? The Bulldog blood. So you're gonna pull more of the Bulldog mass. That is why Champion Titanium Tang looks ridiculous at 118 at his peak compared to this Mastiff. You cannot ask the massive related blood to give you this, because this is what happens, right? You have a longer back, which means that your dog is going to be naturally heavier, right? That is why these 2 dogs at the same weight look absolutely nothing alike. Now, with that being said, when you have these longer backs on these dogs, people want to talk about, well, my dog is 160, 180, whatever the case is. That's fine. Well, this is the thing, right? When you have a dog that is longer, you have a dog that is heavier, but you have a dog that has 0 breed type. What ends up happening is you have a dog that is fatter, you have a dog that has looser skin, which takes away from the look. That is why you have dogs that are ridiculously heavy that look nothing like what the American Bully is supposed to be. So with that being said, let's dive into this a little bit more. So now that we got all of that out there when discussing back length in regards to weight, why is that important? Because when you are new into the community and you don't know better, you're gonna be seeing weight being thrown around as the #1 key contributing factor as to why you should buy a pup from that bloodline. With that being said, I'm gonna be honest, just because a dog is heavier does not mean that it has more breed type. I'm gonna say that one more time. Just because a dog is heavier does not mean that it has more breed type. And that is why you can have a dog, like what I said before, like Champion Titanium Tang compared to this Mastiff, and it's not even close, right? Now, with that being said, when we're talking about the true 140, 160, in my opinion, what camp has this with the bullier traits? Now, this might be controversial. A lot of people may not like how he does business, but the truth is this guy has been around for a while and he's consistent with how he handles business. Now, with that being said, when we're talking about the bigger dogs that have these bullier traits, the camp that has this, in my opinion, is big ballers. Now, that might be controversial to a lot of people when discussing functionality. My response is specifically to weight because I see a lot of 140, 160 being thrown around. Well, we're going to talk about 140, 160, at least let it have breed type, and big ballers has that. Look at Bubba Shrimp. Bubba's rep is 22 inches at the withers and is damn near 150, 160. I don't know his precise weight. I want to say he's within that weight range. Look at how compact he is at that size. Look at down P, he is 20.5 inches at the withers, I believe. Look at how big his head is. Look at how compact his body is. Look at how wide his rib cage is. These are the traits that the XL is supposed to have in nature. Now, do I believe that they are overdone? In my opinion, I believe they are. Can they be a tool? Absolutely, especially if you have that Bulldog foundational blood, in my opinion. So now we're going to be talking about the rib cage. So now that we got that out there, we're going to be talking about a trait that the American Bully is supposed to have, which is the wider rib cage. And when you have a dog with the wider rib cage, most importantly, it allows the body to showcase that chest drop. And what it also provides is the foundation for the American Bully to carry a lot of that mass around the back and the chest area, and to be able to showcase that true American Bully look. And this is something that is a lost art, especially in the bigger dogs, because I'm going to be showing you this American Bulldog. Look at how well built he is. Look at the mass in the neck. Look at the shoulder area. Look at the back. You see how ripped up and yoked up this dog is. Now, when you have a dog with the massive related blood, you lose this. Why? Because the dog is naturally taller, right? But the dog isn't as naturally wide, and they don't have the specific genetics. You have to understand the genetic aspect behind it. You're not going to be able to get this having this, and that's just what the reality is. So with that being said, let's pick up at the next part of the video. So now that I got all of that information out there, talking about the back length and the rib cage and the weight of the dog, right? Because I had to bring up weight because a lot of people want to talk about the weight aspect, right? And lastly, I'm going to be talking about the top line, and I designed the video specifically that way so that you can see how these contributing factors play a role to the top lines of the dogs that you see today. Now, this is the thing, right? When we are talking about the straight top line, the correct top line that you're supposed to have in the show ring, you have to understand this. When you have a dog that is proportional, your dog has a compact back. When you lose that compact back, it doesn't matter if you have a straight top line. The whole objective of the breed is to be compact. You have to have the compact back. You get what I'm saying? A dog cannot just be longer, and just because it has a straight top line mean that that dog has the correct conformation of the American Bully. The truth is, it doesn't. Now, when we're talking about these bigger dogs, what ends up happening is, right, when you have a bigger dog, these dogs that are a lot heavier, you get the sway back, which is the back dips in, giving it the high rear, but the sway back, which means that the hips move very, very rough. When you see a dog like this in the ring, the dog moves rough, the dog moves slow, and cannot truly open up in the gait portion, right? And in my opinion, this is something you see a lot in the XL class of today. You have XLs moving like Mastiffs. Now, we're talking about the top line. Is a slight high rear acceptable? In my opinion, even though I try to stay away from it, it is a flaw that I can work with. A slight roach and a slight high rear. In my opinion, those are the two things that I could work with. What I cannot work with, and what for me personally is just not a good example of the breed, is the long sway back with the high rear, because the dog just moves loose and it does not move good at all. So with that being said, let's wrap up the video. Okay, everybody, so that wraps up the video. Hope that each and every single one of you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and sub to the channel. Check off the bell notification icon to become part of the family. And with that being said, that wraps up part 3, and I hope this series is really, really helping each and every single one of you. And once again, thank you for all of the continued support, and thank you to each and every single one of you that have reached out to us via messaging on Instagram or whatever platform it is, and just expressing to us how grateful you are for us and enjoying the content that we're putting out. And when I tell you it just means so much to us, it really does. And like I said, the whole objective is to give each and every single one of you the opportunity to see how much we love our dogs, and to really showcase the breed so that we can get the breed out there, and we can have a lot more people joining us in this community and producing for every top-notch quality American Bullies. And at the end of the day, that is the goal and the whole purpose behind me doing what I'm doing. So with that being said, once again, thank you so much. Have a blessed day, and we'll catch you on the next one. We're up and at it.